So, hey, this is Shishir. We'll be talking about generative AI. I want my team to introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Nathan. I'm Nathan Hart.
Hello, I'm Emmanuel Akome.
Hi, this is Shruti Narla.
Okay, so we'll be talking about what are the benefits and risks of using generative AI technology in various industries and how can we ensure that it is used ethically and responsibly. So, the generative AI's evolution began in the early 1932 when pioneers like Alan Turing invented the Turing machine. They were the initial works which are currently the basics of computer science. So Alan Turing invented the Turing machine during the World War II to decode the encrypted code sent by Germany. And second era was 1960s to 1990s rule-based systems. So rules were defined to for generating simple graphics, text, and music. Then the third era was 2000s to 2010 statistical approaches, which use methods like Markov models for data-driven content generation, deep learning breakthroughs towards the time of 2010 to 2014, emergence of CNN, RNN for realistic content generation. Then in 2014 and beyond, which is the current theory of artificial intelligence, the GANs, generative adversarial networks for high quality content generation. So generative AI can produce text, image, audio, synthetic data, and on the basis of text prompts. Advancement in GANs actually and transformers enhance the current generative AI. Transformers enable unlimited data training for in-depth answers. Challenges in generative AI include accuracy, bias, and hallucinations. Generative AI currently transforms multiple industries. How does it work? So early generative AIs used complex tools. Pioneers you improved user experiences with plain language prompts, just like we talk to each other. It's just like how we talk to an AI. Customization includes feedback and for style and tone. Generative AI simplifies content generation, customization. User-friendly interfaces revolutionize creative processes. Let's talk about the models. So we generative AI processes text, images using algorithm. NLP, that is natural language processing, converts in characters into vectors for text analysis. Images are transformed into visual vectors. Caution is needed during the bias because a single kind of training can bias the data produced by generative AI models. Neural networks, as we discussed, is generating the realistic faces and data. So transformers enable content generation across domains. Generative AI revolutionizes content creation. How neural networks are transforming generative AI? That's a very big question right now. So it is a rule-based system for our expert systems that AI uses for generation of the data. Neural networks try to mimic the human brains, but in the past times were limited by data and the hardware. Big data and improved hardware made neural networks practical. GPUs are a different form of CPUs, but they process graphics. So the better GPUs have accelerated the content generation with parallel processing. As we discussed earlier, GNN transform advanced AI content generated content. So let's talk about DALI, ChatGPT, and BARD. So DALI uses text prompts to generate visual imagery. ChatGPT is an interactive chatbot. BARD is Google's chatbot, much like ChatGPT, which has faced criticism right now due to early launch without user testing. So let's talk about DALI. Is a multimodal app that connects vision, text, and audio for creative content. OpenAI, which has built ChatGPT, has created DALI. First was released in 2021, second was released in 2022. Generates imagery in multiple styles from user prompts. Showcases potential of multimodal AI with text and visuals. Demonstrates AI's progress with and potential in creative content. ChatGPT is currently on the version of 3.5. OpenAI has enabled fine-tuning of text responses for dynamic conversation. GPT-4 is a premium version that ChatGPT has introduced, which was released on March 14, 2023. ChatGPT uses conversation history for contextual responses. GPT integration in Bing by Microsoft shows that in today's time, there is a growing adoption of AI in search. Let's talk about Bard. Bard was developed by tech giant Google, and unlike GPT, so Google did not release a public interface. Microsoft GPT's implementation and Bing rushed Google Bard's launch, and hasty debut caused the stock price loss. Bard faced criticism for inaccurate claims, highlighting risks of untested AI chatbots. Now we have Nathan to talk about benefits and limitations of artificial intelligence.
When it comes to benefits of artificial intelligence, repetitive tasks is a particularly useful in automating repetitive tasks that require a lot of time, and human workers are now allowed to focus on more complex and creative work, which contributes to productivity, as AI has the potential to significantly increase productivity in a variety of industries by automating tasks that were previously done manually. AI can help businesses to work faster and more efficiently and with greater accuracy. Interestingly, one of the primary ways AI can improve productivity is through automation, which is used in computing high computational tasks. And so when it comes to solving problems, AI has the ability to solve complex problems by analyzing vast amounts of data, recognizing patterns, and making predictions. AI techniques such as machine learning, natural language processing, and deep learning enables machines to learn from data and improve their performance over time. Lastly, global defense. AI is increasingly being used in global defense for a variety of applications, including intelligence gathering, surveillance, and decision making. With respect to the limitations of AI, despite the advancements in artificial intelligence, we do need to be mindful of bias. This is a major concern as AI systems increasingly play a role in the decision making in various industries, and bias occurs when algorithms produce results that are systematically prejudiced against certain groups of people. Creativity is also another limitation of AI, and this is actually an emerging field that involves developing algorithms and systems that can generate novel and innovative ideas, solutions, and products. Lastly, source of content. There are several approaches. This is one of the challenges, with using artificial intelligence. As the risk of bias and inaccurate information, AI systems rely on data to learn and make decisions. And if the data used to train these systems is biased or incomplete, the resulting content can be similarly flawed. With regards to concerns, AI is a very disruptive business model, as Google is now experiencing. I touched on the inaccurate information and the flawed information that the AI could be trained on and how it can pose a problem. And lastly, potential for misuse and abuse. Denial of service attacks are a type of cyber attacks that aim to disrupt the functioning of an AI system by overwhelming it with requests or data, causing it to become unresponsive or crash. These attacks can be particularly damaging in situations where AI systems are used in critical applications such as healthcare or transportation.
On some example of generative AI tools, there are there are tools for generative AI that can produce text, image, music, code, and voice, among others modalities. To learn more about this, consider the following well AI content generators. So we know we have some tools which are ChatGPT, uh, uh, do not pay AI, so which is used in case you need a lawyer, and then we have a Jasper, Chatbot Live, Genihigh, and then Timely. So the voice synthesis tools, discrete listener, and podcast AI are example companies that produce AI chips. Design tools include Candace, Google, and NVIDIA. Generative AI by industry. Because new generative AI technologies have the potential to substantially alter numerous industry and use cases. They have been compared to general purpose technologies such as steam power, electricity, and computing. It is critical to remember that similarly to earlier general purpose technologies, it frequently took decades for people to figure out how to best organize workflow to benefit their new strategies rather than simply accelerating certain discrete steps. In the current workflow, various sectors may be affected by generative AI application in the following ways. To create and interpret contracts, review evidence, and develop arguments, legal companies use generative AI. Manufacturers incorporate data from cameras, X-ray, and other measurements using generative AI to discover problematic paths and the root causes more accurately and economically. Architects utilize generative AI to create and modify prototypes more quickly. Generative AI is used by games firms to create game materials at all levels.
Let's look at a brief overview of the history of generative AI. One of the earliest examples of generative artificial intelligence was the ELIZA chatbot created by Joseph Weizenbaum in 1960s. However, early implementations used a rules-based approach that had many limitations such as a limited vocabulary and lack of context. But with advances in neural networks and deep learning in 2010, the technology was able to automatically learn to parse existing text, classify image elements, and transcribe audio. In 2014, Ian Goodfellow introduced GANs, which provided a novel approach for organizing competing neural networks to generate and then rate content variations. Since then, progress in other neural network techniques and architectures has helped expand generative artificial capabilities. Techniques involved variational autoencoders, long short term memory transformers, diffusion models, and neural radiance fields. Now, let's talk about best practices for using generative artificial intelligence. It is essential to consider accuracy, transparency, and ease of use when working with generative artificial intelligence. To achieve these factors, it is crucial to label all generative artificial intelligence content clearly for users and consumers. Vet the accuracy of generated content. Consider how bias might affect generated artificial intelligence results. Double check the quality of artificial intelligence generated code and content using other tools. Learn the strengths and limitations of each generative artificial intelligence tool and familiarize yourself with common failure models in results and work around them. Finally, let's talk about the future of uh, generative artificial intelligence. The depth and ease of ChatGPT have shown tremendous promise for the widespread adoption of generative artificial intelligence. However, we need to ensure that we can roll out this technology safely and responsibly. The industry and society will build better tools for tracking the provenance of information to create more trustworthy artificial intelligence. Improvements in artificial intelligence development platforms will help accelerate research and development of better artificial intelligence capabilities for text, images, video, 3D content, drugs, supply chains, logistics, and business processes. Generative artificial intelligence will change how we work. Grammar checkers, design tools, and training tools will all seamlessly embed more useful recommendations directly into workflows. These are the references that we used while we were researching about the generative artificial intelligence topic. Thank you for listening, and we hope you have a better understanding of the history, best practices, and future of generative artificial intelligence.